Alrighty, here we are in the morning, playing some Trails of Cold Steel 2. I don't have any sound for myself. I am playing games at times that I normally do not play games. And yeah, we're basically going after Eustace's. Sorry. I don't think of it. I don't think I want to give him that. Give you that. You have detection. Is this really the squad I'm running with? Huh. I don't know if I agree. Oh well. Here we go. We're about to go take on Duke Alberea. Eustace's father. We're gonna take him down.
Everyone, commence final preparations. Depart for the agreed location. Once there, we're on standby until the assault begins.
Man, they gave those
Course to the Kreuzern province secured.
those random Jaegers voice lines, but not these people.
Courageous, full speed ahead.
Could have definitely office staffed those people. Like, alright, you say go, go, go. You say yeah, yeah, yeah. And we got this. Easy. Ain't gotta be good voice acting. Just keep consistency. That's just me though, you know. I'm sure it doesn't bother people out there. But we're first gonna be thrown into a forgetting what those things are called. Soldat fight. There we go. Ooh, using my terminology. And there he is. He riding on the back this time, not on the front. Oh, and then you saw Neidhart back there doing the same thing. Of course, he has to hold on. He ain't that much of a boss like Craig is. Yeah, take him off. Did I see it right that there's no textures on the phone side of that phone? Or like there's textures, but there's no like interface textures. It's just the same texture wrapped around. Who's reloading those missile launchers? Man, those guys just need to rush in. Why are they afraid of some bullets and some tiny little missiles? They can maneuver around them. They're supposed to be great in mobility, right? Soldats. They're amazing. those streets are so tiny. Those streets are also just messed up after all those tanks just started rolling through. You know, those nice smooth stone, cobblestone floors toe up after all those tanks went through. Man, they just leaving the fort undefended. What's wrong with you people? Well, we just gonna fly in and win. Or did they forget that we have the Courageous? Why don't we ever put tanks on the Courageous? We have the room. This guy, man. No respect for anybody. Uh-oh. We got some Ouroboros people hanging out too. If McBurn is here, we're in a lot of trouble. I think McBurn is the only character in this game, to my recollection, that actually leans back and enjoys the backrest of the seat that he is on. Everyone else stands up super straight and doesn't lean back at all. I got the animation there. Give it to everybody else. Where's the Courageous? There it is. Why are we flying from that way too? We could have flown all the way around and avoided all that. And we're flying so low too. What are you people doing? Tao is a terrible captain. Should be. Where'd those soldats come from? There was nobody there before.
This is Alfin Raisei Arner, speaking from on board the Courageous. We have come to arrest Duke Alberea on suspicion of ordering the destruction and razing of Keldic. Please surrender peacefully!
Shoot him out of the sky.
Back off!
Oh, you guys waited too long. I wonder if we can change the ordering of the party members when they teleport in by the order in which they are in your party. I'm guessing no? Well, maybe. Because they'll have to do it for the 3 guest people. Bewitching voice, you know who that is. Oh, dang. Sure is. The Kestrel, high speed. I really don't know how a Soldat could really get that fast. Seems improbable. Yep, so the other members of the, what are they called? Imperial Liberation Front, namely Scarlet, she too wants to fall in battle in the glorious blaze of defeat. And we gonna give her that defeat. She gonna die. Her weapon is really cool. If you know Ivy from Soul Calibur, her weapon is basically that. Very cool. Okay, so the good thing about the Kestrel is that it is not, it's very fast, but it's very weak. And so, oops. Oh, I actually attacked the right thing. Gotcha. So we can actually take it out pretty quickly here. I guess we'll have to swap later on. No. Let's... head. Let's go. Gotcha. So just kind of grind our way through this one. This one should be a very easy fight. Really?
Too bad.
She's moving very quick.
Gotcha! It's working! Keep it up!
Leave it to me!
Alright, now she's really in for a world arc. Her speed is probably now on par with most other Soldats, I'm guessing. She keeps using that one.
Now! Gotcha!
I wanted to say that her HP isn't very good, but I don't actually remember what her HP is.
Gotcha!
She's dead next attack.
That's it! Just a little more!
Or next
Leave it to me!
let's see. 100% chance to unbalance. Yeah, let's make it. Oh, I forgot to swap out Sarah. Oh well, it's only 100.
Understood!
I even had the chance to it, I just wasn't paying attention.
This can't be happening.
Well done! You did great that time!
Speed ain't everything.
He did it.
Nice work, Rean.
The weird thing about that whole classmates thing is, see,
This is bad. Watch out,
Scene
Rean!
was on another level
Pushing her soul dot for that kind of speed put a huge strain on its orbital
the
engine.
whole time.
At this rate, the same thing that happened with V's gonna happen here too.
I won't let that happen. I'm not going to stand back and allow anyone else to die. Not if I have the power to stop it. We're doing this, Valimar!
Acknowledged. Man, how do you know where the orbital engine is? How do you know it's not in the torso? Also, where else would it be? Why would it be in the lower body?
Rean!
There really is no end to your recklessness. Is that her Soldat's cockpit?
Yeah, looks like I managed to separate it in time. I want to check to see if she's alright in there just in case, though.
You put on a good show, Rean. All right, everyone. We're going in.
We'll check if everything is clear inside. Follow when you can.
I will. Take care, everyone.
Our objective is to infiltrate the fortress and apprehend my father, Duke Alberea.
The scale of that cockpit is kind of concerning. Eustace stands taller than the cockpit. I never noticed this before.
Remain on guard at all times.
It's not a perspective thing either. He's right next to it.
Let's hurry.
Let's hurry.
She already-
Class 7, Group A, advance into the fortress!
See, look at that.
How is she, Valimar?
I detect vital readings from inside. Her life appears to be in no danger.
I mean, I know you can lean back. No. No. No.
This should
There's
do
no
it.
way Scarlet can fit in that. I don't think so.
Are you okay? Sorry, but I wasn't about to let that happen. I can't pretend to know everything about the life that you've led. But based on what I do know, I don't believe it's okay for that life to come to an end like this. Accept justice for what you've done, and then find a way to atone for your crimes. Looks like she passed out. Still, I'm glad I made it in time.
Same here.
What are you doing here?
That's...
How did you not see him approach?
It's Ordine!
How long have you been there?
Oh, how cute. Did you come because you were all worried about your friend?
You got me. Still, I wasn't expecting you to try a bet with stakes quite that high. Did you even stop to think for 1 second about what would happen if you got caught in that
Should
explosion?
have been fine.
I wasn't thinking at all, to be honest. Still, if I can't win a bet like that, what chance do I have of winning against you? Right, Crow?
Fair enough. Well, Thanks. Oh, and reinforcing your weapon with Zemirian ores, not a bad idea. Just know that you're gonna need to do more than reinforce some old sword to match up to Ordine. So, you know, keep working your way through those trials.
How you know what we doing?
Oh, and that was some fine work you did making it, George. Can't wait to see what the final product
How
looks
did you
like.
know he did that?
I think you'll like what you see.
As for the two of you, Toa and Angelica, looks like you've really gotten the hang of flying that thing. I don't think there are many students out there who can learn to handle a cutting-edge cruiser in a couple weeks. You two are nuts.
They didn't have a couple weeks.
It was
Especially
nothing.
Angelica. She had like 3 days.
We can't afford to take forever getting used to a ship when we've got a troublemaker like you to bring home.
Just you wait. You'll be coming back to us. I promise you that.
I'll have to get across this whole plotline thing a little bit later.
And I hope you're ready to be on cleaning duty until graduation as a penalty for worrying us so much.
If you think you can do it, go right ahead. You still got a long way to go before you can defeat me. But I ain't gonna complain if you actually pull it off.
You will.
Okay, time to get back to work. Your classmates must be waiting inside for you by now. You should go after them.
We'll get Valimar back on board the Courageous and keep watch here. You can count on that.
Ha! Good luck!
Thanks. We'll be back soon.
How is he gonna get Valimar on the Courageous? How are you even gonna land the ship? What about Scarlet? Come on.
Stop right there!
Jaegers, we got this.
If it isn't the Northern Jaegers. Step aside. Our business is with Duke Albarea, not with you.
Afraid that's not gonna happen. We have orders to take you into our custody, Usus Albarea.
And for our homeland of North Ambria, we intend to do just that.
North Ambria State? That's even farther up north than Nord.
Also, more random Jaegers with voice lines.
I know little about it, though, other than how virtually inhospitable it is.
Although, these are not just random Jaegers.
Some things just don't change.
Sarah Valentine? I wasn't expecting to find you accompanying our target. I was aware that you'd made quite a name for yourself as a bracer by the name of Purple Lightning.
But I see the rumors about you becoming a teacher at that academy were also true.
Give me your facts, your explanation here.
Sarah. Do you know them, Instructor?
Yeah, afraid so. We go quite a ways back. I don't intend to tell you that what you're doing is wrong. There's no doubting that the money you raise is vital to the people back home. But right now, being an instructor to these kids comes first. And Erebonia, not North Ambria, is my home now. So I don't care who it saves. I'll show no mercy to anyone who dares to burn my home to the ground.
They just trying to take uses, you know, to get that money, man. Ain't no burning of nothing.
I'll make damn sure you can never do anything like that ever again. So let's go. I'll take all of you on.
You might be tough, but do you honestly think you can fight us by yourself?
You can't fight a high-ranking corps like that by yourself.
It's too much for one person to do alone.
I won't allow it. We'll help.
Nuh-uh. I want you all to stand back and leave this to me. It's time for me to settle what I failed to do 6 years ago.
Still...
Very well.
It's time to make you regret turning your back on your homeland and leaving us.
Let me show you why I'm called the Purple Lightning.
Do I get to play?
Leave it to
I
me.
get to play. I get to play. We're about to body them all.
Time to try for once.
I get to play. I didn't think I don't remember actually being able to be Sarah for this. It's nice that they gave me this opportunity. Goodbye.
Okay, we're burning daylight.
Not a scratch on her.
What's going on?
How did you withstand all of that completely alone? Unbelievable.
It looks like you've grown even stronger since your days in the Corps.
Well, is that all you got? Go on! Fight me! I can take it! So try your luck as long as you want!
You're serious?
Sarah, it's okay.
I've had enough. I see no point in wasting any more time fighting with a wounded lioness.
This battle's dragged on long enough. I think this is time to walk away. Our contract with the Kreuzin province is hereby complete.
No, y'all people weak, man. You soft.
Are you allowed to simply abandon your contracts like that?
We've worked enough for the money we've been paid. We're not in the business of doing unpaid overtime.
Farewell, Valestein. We may meet again, but it won't be during this war.
I sure hope not.
We're withdrawing. Disperse and make your way to the agreed location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could have gone a lot worse than it did.
Indeed, and it was all thanks to the complete and utter lack of sanity of our loving instructor.
We could have taken them.
Where do they get off calling me a wounded lioness anyway? I'll show them a lioness, the bastards. Still, I really wish you guys hadn't seen me that way. Didn't want you to know my background either, but not much I can do about that now, huh?
Indeed.
So you were just like Fee?
Yep. Once upon a time, I was a Jaeger too. A member of the Northern Jaegers, to be exact. That was 6 years ago, before I became a bracer. During my time there, I ended up being saved by Colonel Beatrix. That was what led me to break out of the group.
I knew about it already, but it wasn't my place to talk about it.
I guess you have your fair share of burdens to shoulder like the rest of us.
All this was a long, long time ago.
6 years, to be exact.
Are you all right?
You've contributed more than enough already. Leave the rest to us.
Okay. Maybe I went a little overboard in that fight. But you know what? It paid off. You won't need to worry about Jaegers on your way to the Duke now. He should still be somewhere in here. Find him, and do what we came to do.
Understood. And you stay right here and rest. We'll be back before you know it.
Let's go and find my father.
My father. And we lose Sarah. which is unfortunate. Yeah, we'll keep, what's his face? Guys. Alright. Let's go through this fort.
Behind us. Let's go.
Here I go.
Let's see. And as you can see, we cannot awaken this call here.
We'll cut our own path.
So we just have to slowly make our way to the destination we're supposed to go to. Trying to figure out. Oh, this place is big. So there's probably gonna be like a thing, yeah, blocking that. Makes us have to go in here and do this. This way. Oops, meant to attack him.
Advantage is ours. Let's finish him.
Let's move.
Alright, still one-shotting things.
We'll
thank
cut our
goodness.
own path.
I would investigate a crit build, but I actually don't know what the ratio is for strength. Strength being translated into damage.
The wind is behind us.
And whether me going a crit build
Here I go.
would cause me to do more damage if I crit consistently.
We'll cut our own
Although I
path.
wouldn't be able to get that much, maybe like 25%? Ish? That's probably being pretty optimistic. Let's see. Hold on a second. I don't think I can go this way, but we're gonna try. We can.
Let's get this over with.
Here I go.
I don't have faith that you can one-shot this with an auto.
Burn to ash. Fall! That's the power of the 8 leaves.
8 leaves, 1 blade, school of death.
I spy with my little eye the goods.
Got cast 2. It's a good gem. I'm pretty sure we can't go that way. Okay, we're gonna do some shenanigans first. I always thought, I guess they do this so that you can't kill them? Because killing humans is bad?
Now's our chance. Let's get him. Let's move. Second.
But it's kind of sad that they don't let you do that.
We'll cut our own path.
Do that being, you know, just kill them for 7. It's not like they lay on the ground or anything after you kill them. Okay. We're gonna have to go back to get.
Bum. Ba-dum. Ba-da-dum bum.
Yo, check your privilege, man.
Very well. I will serve as your opponent.
My turn.
Yeah, whoever does the voice for Ulysses just perfectly does I'm a snobby noble voice.
You're finished.
And tone.
Loss was never an option.
Not with you on our side.
Okay. I feel like they changed this one from the first game. I don't remember it being exactly like this. 90% chance to absorb magic attacks. It's pretty good. Oh, I don't have to go back. Fascinating. I guess I have to go back for this chest then. Come on. You can do it.
Oh, isn't this a pleasant surprise? There's a
treasure chest.
Very well. I will serve as your opponent.
Let's move. Second.
Wow.
My turn.
My turn.
The lack of killing things there was incredible.
It's my turn. There! Time is precious. We should hurry.
You know, come to think of it, Eustace might be like the best. What is his stats? 22, 20. No, he can't be. Well, actually, I guess he could. If I get rid of mine too, go for. Oh yeah, Carnage. I need to give somebody Carnage. Fee. You're pretty much... Oh, I forgot about that. No. Oh man, how did I not upgrade their slots? So bad.
Father's gone completely on the defensive now. But every defense has its flaws. We will find a way through.
Right! This one will take everything we have.
Uses.
My turn.
I think we've seen this one already, but we'll check it out again. Wow, how many hit points does this guy have?
Let's move. My turn. Burn to ash.
We don't use these very much.
Fall.
Hey, I got the scouter. It was worth me
That's the power
going
of the 8
overboard on
leaves.
that guy. Since
Oh,
can't get that.
that's a fine-looking treasure chest.
Let me see. Let me see. I guess we'll start with this one. No witty comments for this air vent?
Must we really pass through here?
There we go. Just spoke too soon. I think this is the last floor for this dungeon.
If we're going to
so
take that monster on, we'll need to be very careful.
I don't think we can go this way, but I'm gonna check anyways. Yeah, that's what I thought. Because why would they put this vent here that goes all the way over here if we could? what she's singing.
Oh, that's a fine-looking treasure chest.
Let's not overestimate ourselves. Stay focused.
We're almost done. I should probably be fighting monsters to get Reen's CP back up.
Must we really pass through
He
here?
already said that. Then again, we also got Feast singing already too, so. Whoops.
Now's our chance. Let's get him. Here I go.
What is your hit points at? 11,000.
My turn. Now.
Oh, why am I linked up with Usus?
I'll handle this. This is it. Here.
Good job, team.
Your court fencing is as refined as ever.
Well, I can be at my best with someone like you at my side.
Usus is so snobby. Okay, where am I going? Trying to sneak that chest real quick.
Neat treasure chest.
Then we'll kill this guy.
Bring it on.
Oh dear.
Let's move.
Well.
Very well.
Can I arc them first? Oh, I don't have a scan on that guy.
Arcus, activate.
My turn.
We should definitely scan him.
It's my turn.
Okay. I'm more worried about you.
Yeah, there.
This is not gonna do enough. Oh my gosh.
Curse you.
That was almost enough.
I'll
Holy
handle
crap. Go Usus.
Done. But we can't relax yet.
I forgot how much damage arts actually did. And yes, I am going to do the new game plus quests. I've actually never done it before, so I'm looking forward to actually doing a little bit of content that I haven't done before. I have, I think, 4 black books right now.
This is awfully tight.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know exactly where it's at though either, so I have to keep an eye on that.
You're in my way.
My turn.
Alright, let's get our CP back
Second
up.
form. Damn!
Very well. I shall fulfill my duty as a noble.
Oh, Reena's almost going level up. We're starting to get experience again. Which is good and worrisome at the same time. fight this guy. I don't think I got the back attack. Nope.
Very well. I will serve as your opponent.
Let's move. Burn to ash.
So now everybody will do the S
Now's our
crap.
chance.
You're done.
Very well.
Once again,
Arcus, activate!
My turn.
let's see. They take damage after their action, I believe. It's too dangerous to attack him because it'll knock him out of the thing.
It's my turn.
You use a craft. There you go. You're gonna knock him out, aren't you? You knocked him out.
Now!
There!
Yeah, you definitely knocked him out. Oh, he's barely in it. Let's go.
Curse you!
Be a guy.
I shall
CP back,
fulfill
so
my
that's not
duty
gonna
as a noble.
Great!
Wonderful. Hopefully, I can still beat New Game Plus with my people at like maybe 130. I hope that's a possibility.
You're in my
Really?
way.
Just one.
Very well.
My turn. Got it.
Got you!
You don't want to mess with the domination counterattack. Those are too good.
Absolute victory.
What if it unequipped Sarah's equipment? Come on, man. New material. Not too useful for me right now. Almost got lost here. I was like, where the heck am I going?
We've made it.
You're cornered now, father.
Eustace is ready to go. I just realized that he's not getting his MP back. Let's see. Weapons you have to use. Dragon Bane. We're gonna rest. Get Eustace's MP back. I don't think it's gonna be well, actually, it might be necessary because Reen doesn't have 200 CP right now. Actually, what am I saying? It's not. Yes. Oh, I forgot about McBurn. I forgot about him.
Duke Albarea, Ouroboros.
Oh, how nice it is to see you all again.
Long time no see. Where'd Purple Lightning go? Pretty sure I saw her with you when you entered the fortress.
She's downstairs. She can't make it, I'm afraid.
S was defeated. The Northern Jaegers left.
The Noble Alliance has completely turned its back on you. You have nowhere left to run, father. Please, surrender with good grace.
As a side note, Eustace has his sword like in between Reen's legs, and it's kind of a terrible place for you to put your sword, man.
There's nothing special about the Four Houses.
Your status does nothing to excuse your actions. No amount of power can grant you the freedom to raise your own lands.
Do you feel nothing for the suffering you caused the innocent people of Celtic?
Dang. This guy.
Father.
We've talked enough. Let's get this done.
Oh, aren't we overconfident? Do you honestly think it will be that simple? Lord Rufus may have chosen to abandon his father, but until we're told it is no longer necessary, we will fulfill the mission we have been given. I suggest you abandon all hope of victory, for we will be your opponents.
I fear for our chances against both of them at once.
You gotta do a lot more than fear. We can't even take McBurn by himself, let alone Diwali.
Nah, I'm good.
Excuse me?
Can't deny I'm a little interested in what that black-haired kid can do. But with the Purple Lightning missing in action, you can take this one on your own. See ya. Maybe next time we get a chance to fight, it'll be in somewhere that can take the heat.
McBurn is so lazy.
Ah, he is unbelievable! This is why I hate working with him!
Your partner's not the most reliable one in Ouroboros now, is he?
So? You still intend to take us on even without him?
So, you all think you can make a fool out of me, do you? Come forth! Vanguard F3! Sleipnir!
Oh my goodness.
Archaisms?
They seem pretty well armored. It must be for defending bases.
We may have fought before, but that was a mere taste of what I'm truly capable of. Come at me with all that you have.
Her sword is really nice.
I am the head knight of the Stallritter, Duvali the Swift.
We gonna keep saying Diwali.
And I shall defeat every one of you!
We'll see about that.
Here she comes!
We'll be the ones defeating you.
Alright, I'm gonna try a different strategy.
Now, draw your weapons.
Let's move.
So what I'll do... Actually... Hit points... never mind, I'm not gonna do a different strategy. You love how she's the head knight, pretty incompetent for a leader? Yeah. It's hard to treat her seriously. I don't think this is gonna one-shot the other one, so maybe we'll get him to half health.
Termination slash! Die!
Leave that ignorance.
Very well.
Alright, so you... I'm gonna cast a spell with you first. You don't have... Wow, you don't have... Oh, you're gonna go right after Diwali. It's not what I wanted. I mean, I'm... Probably shouldn't be tripping too much about this fight. It's gonna be pretty simple, but... Just make sure.
Now, let's get this over with.
Right, very right.
Come on, kill the Archaisms. Yo, Gaius.
Here I go.
What are you doing?
Second form. Gale! Now!
You're done!
Wow, why do they have that death animation?
Okay.
That's weird.
Now.
Got you!
How are you still standing?
Ooh,
All right.
I do need to watch out for her S-Craft.
Yeah, there!
Please don't.
Too slow. Now.
Got you!
Curse you!
This is all on the first turn too, so I think we're still doing double damage with Ring. No, we're not. No, we're not. We haven't seen Cross Crusade in a while. 15.
Okay.
Not as much as I wanted it to be.
My turn.
You know what? Since we can, this battle's already over. Let's see how much Rean's auto attacks do with this.
My turn. Now's our chance.
That looks pretty good.
You're done.
Leave it to me.
My turn.
Let's see, we're gonna use Twin Cyclones first. Because he could just reduce his HP. Oh, that's not gonna do it. Maybe we can give Eustace the final. Yep. Let's go, Eustace. Bring glory to the Albarea family. With explosions.
You're finished. Astion Knight!
Big explosion.
Treasure these final moments.
Wow, what a fitting
This is
ending
impossible.
quote.
I shall fulfill my duty as a noble.
Good job, Eustace.
I've only just begun.
Target rendered powerless.
We were able to overcome her after all. But I wonder, didn't she seem unusually tired?
Ugh. First I disgraced myself in Crossbell, and now here? How am I to face my illustrious lord who told me to serve as witness here now?
Now, nothing stands in our way.
You've nowhere left to run, Father.
Girl? You seem to have greatly misconstrued my reason for being here. The mission assigned to me was to come and watch this fortress fall. No one ever said anything about protecting you. Very much so. Those were Duke Cayenne and Lord Rufus's orders, you see. Besides, my lord would never forgive the odious crimes you have committed. And quite frankly, neither can I. You should be weeping with gratitude I haven't taken my sword to you myself.
Okay, Diwali. I'll see you.
There she goes.
I'm still curious who her lord is, but I suppose now isn't the time.
I'm curious who her lord is.
Go on. The rest is for you to carry out.
I'm well aware. Father... No. Your Grace Duke Helmut Albarea. You are hereby under arrest on suspicion of arson and property damage in Keldic, as well as causing harm to the people of Kreutzen. Please, do not attempt to resist.
Yeah, I think it was the Sword Maiden. I have no idea who the Sword Maiden is. And I'm pretty sure they don't reveal who she is in this game. Pretty sure. I'm trying to think, and it's... I actually haven't played the Crossbell games. And then, truthfully, I haven't played the Trails in the Sky games to completion either. I've only played Let me double check my Steam here. Let's see. Trails in the Sky. 24 hours of Trails in the Sky 1. I guess FC is what his first chapter. And I watched a Let's Play to finish that one. And I was going to watch a Let's Play of the second one once it had finished, but the person that I was watching, I guess took a break or stopped doing the series or something because he's no longer uploading videos for it. And I like to watch them all in bulk, all at once. I'm not one of those type of people that likes to wait a week. So I was waiting for him to finish. It's been like a year. And I kind of stopped at 30 something episodes, so I gotta find someone else. I'm interested in playing them, but the reason I stopped playing the first one was because there was a lot of backtracking, and it was enough for me to get really annoyed by it. So I said, you know what, I'll set this one down. I'll finish it with the Let's Play. That way I don't have to deal with the backtracking. I can just watch it, and then I'll just do the Let's Play of the second one. I kind of want to play them, but I heard that the second game basically has the same amount, if not more, backtracking than the first one, and that rubs me the wrong way. Not a backtracking kind of guy. Forward. Yeah, for quests. Main quests, side quests. Yeah, I remember a lot of that. Specifics I don't quite have, unfortunately. But they're on sale. If I am going to buy them, it's definitely going to be before the 5th. The main issue is when I'm going to find time to play them, even if I do buy them. Well, actually, I just have to buy the second one and the third one. Then I'll have to replay the first one so I could throw it up on YouTube. Yeah. It was a fun game, though. The first one, anyways. I definitely did not have any problems with the gameplay or the story or anything like that. Oh, I kind of talked about this before. I ran into the same issue with this game. Not the first. Like I ran into the same issue of Cold Steel 2 retreading areas of Cold Steel 1. And when I first played the game, I actually took a small break from it because it annoyed me too much. But then I came back and played it. I really like the game. That's what makes me continue playing, is I actually like the game enough to deal with it. So I mean that's I guess that's my weak justification. Alright, so we're going to visit Scarlet. I think we're finally going to get her backstory. I also ran into the same issue with Tales of Xillia 2. I stopped playing that game because of the backtracking of retreading areas from Xillia 1. It's tough. Yeah, I kind of agree with you there that it is a negative side of it being a series. Yeah. If the third game retreads the same areas consistently, that's where I would have to push myself to beat the game. And whether that would still be enjoyable for me, I don't know. I'd have to see how the second game would go. And I will say that Cold Steel 2 does make it a little bit easier in that you can fly around, whereas if I remember correctly, in Trails in the Sky, you have to basically walk back to all the places. There's no fast travel. I could be wrong on my memory there. Cold Steel 3, as far as you know, it's in a total new district of Erebonia, western side. Really? I'm definitely looking forward to that one. It's probably going to be a while before it gets translated. Probably at least a year. So next year, September next year. Not too long away. I actually looked up a little bit of information of Cold Steel 3 by accident, and I guess slightly spoiled a party member, and I'm totally confused how that party member is a party member. But you know, I'll just wait for the game and and hopefully they'll give me answers. Yeah, Rain's a softie. It's a character in this game. I guess the best thing I could say is it's an enemy in this game joins our party, maybe temporarily, maybe permanently, I don't know, but they're a party member in the third game to some extent. And I have no idea what that's all about. Bonding points. Bonding points. What do I want to do about the bonding points? Actually, isn't this Eustace's room? It is! Oh, I got that right first try. Let's go. No. Sorry, Eustace. We already got you at level 7. Oh, come on. I want to hear him yell at us. Nowhere else for us to go here, so we'll just move on. Let me see. I could really use the bonding. points. I really don't want to. Because it takes forever. So you're there. You're all there. Well, we can do a bonding point with Tala. Alright, we'll do bonding events instead of skipping them off screen. At least this is pretty good. Okay. I'm pretty sure I didn't do this one. I believe I did Sarah, Eustace, Emma, and Elliot my first playthrough. Maybe Tala? See, Persona is a game that I actually... Well, let me start over. The only Persona game I played was Persona 3 Portable for the PSP, and I actually didn't have too many issues with that game, other than I reached a dungeon where the enemies got too hard and I couldn't progress, so I kind of just set that one aside. It's been a while. I tried getting back into it, but I forgot everything, and so it would just be better for me to start all over. I do have Persona 5, which I intend to play, but it's like a 100-hour game, so when I fit that into my schedule, I have no idea. Could have been worse, Breen. Longest JRPG you know? Oh man. I originally played this game because it took me about 34 days to beat Cold Steel 1 New Game Plus. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to play Path of Exile, the whole expansion patch, because that's coming out, beginning mid-July. And so I'll beat this game, right on time. But then they pushed back the release. And so I don't know what I'm gonna do. Definitely got to finish this game. So I also have two games that I want to play is Horizon Zero Dawn and Shadows of Mordor. Those are two games on my list that I want to play soonish, which is why I'm trying to do some morning streams to get through the game just a little bit quicker. Come to think of it, there's an event that happens at the end of this game with a particular party member, and I really hope that transfers over to the third game. In regards to Reen's love interest. Wifey Wars 3. Oh man. Valimar the Cockblocker. You ruined the mood, man. Alright. I don't think we'll have 2 more bonding events, but if we do, we can probably get most people to level 7. Alright, guys. I'm guessing his is going to be about wind and sensing things. You know, I'm actually really glad that they make the bonding events this, I'll just use the word event, in that it's optional, but you can, you can do it and it'll give you a mechanical benefit. It's not just, you know, like this story thing that you can do to, it's not like talking to a random NPC in town to get more information on the town. You know, it's, you know, if you want to sit through and learn more about this character, we gonna give you some Link XP for that, which will make, you know, your guy better in battle. Definitely adds to the replayability. I agree. Especially because after like the first couple bonding events, there's way too many people to bond with and not enough bonding points. I don't know why anybody would take the new game plus thing that gives all maximum bonding points, but I suppose you could do that and get all the character notes out of the way. You could also get their Link XP to max for your third playthrough. Or I guess you could just go nuts. We're not too far away from the, well, not too far away being very relative here. Hey, it's a character note updated tag thing. Haven't seen one of those on screen in forever. Let me see. So I have 4 more Fee Machias. Laura. Yeah, I guess I won't be able to do Tawa or Alphen. By the way, if you want to rewatch the Trails in the Sky second chapter, a guy named Pharaoh Fiasco is starting one soon on YouTube. Okay. I'll have to check him out. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pop him up right now so that I can remember. Oh my gosh, V. All right. I'll definitely check them out. I think they do this particular animation setup one other time, and I think that's with Elise. Although I don't remember. Oh, maybe it was when in the first game when they're running out. Yeah, the piggybacking. No, actually, it wasn't in. What's Heimdall or wasn't then. Man, I don't remember. I know they did it once before. I was mentioning earlier, because I like to just notice things like that, and that Mick Byrne is the only person who leans back in all the chairs. Everyone else just kind of right angle sitting up. And Rufus is one of the only people that has the get out of car animation. There's a couple people that use it too, but it's probably mostly for Rufus. And then the get in car animation as well. That one's a rare one. Oh, you know, I should have done the bonding events as like separate videos. Why didn't I think of that? Lethal assist. Hey, character note update. Where are we at? I guess I can use this opportunity to go in here. And I need to talk to you. We get the Gambler Jack. chapter 12. I believe we can also buy, or if we talk to him, we get a recipe. Although I already have it. It's this one, fruit parfait. Get out of there. Also, I did forget this. And I'm not gonna go back in there, but in Eustace's room, there is an item in there on one of the bookshelves. That place is obnoxiously big for me to want to go back there and show where it is. I didn't notice it before because I already have it. All right, thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. I'll be back. I'll be online a little bit later this afternoon if you're around. Have a good one. Hey man, I thought we were doing shopping. We ain't got time to fish. Wow, okay, Marcus. Come throw it in the river, man. Yeah, that's right. If you believe, anything is possible. Just gotta believe in the heart of the cards. Are they gonna show it go down the river? It would be a really nice touch if they show it go down the river. Even if they just show the camera. Like a small zoomed in shot. Alright, we don't get it. Oh, you got a long way to go. Okay. Next up is Millium. Hey, character note update. Oh yeah, Millium is all about cooking the sweets. Come on, man, she's a master cook. Oh man, Man, him mentioning sous chef reminds me of Iron Chef and Iron Chef America, and those are some good shows. Is Iron Chef America still putting out new episodes? I wonder. Oh man, that shadow glitching out right there totally gives the somewhat fake impression that the texture inside is actually moving. It's been less than a minute. Oh, Milliam. Are apple tarts usually that big? I always thought they were, like these little tiny things. Alright, Milliam. It's kind of crazy to think that Milliam is a master spy. After all of this nonsense that we have to deal with her being this hyper little kid. Whoa, 800? Did I get 800 for everybody else? Holy crap. Alright, we got one more, and that is for Laura, who's just outside. Where are you going? If I walk away, does she walk back? If I didn't need these link points, I'd totally be spending them on Tawa and Alphen. But alas, life is hard. You are not... Oh my gosh. What is wrong with you? You are insane. Don't do it, Reen. Alright. The man's got a brain. That was a really weird line. Having dried her hair, Reen left her to otherwise dry off herself. Still a swimmer. I don't remember if she was the best swimmer in the first game or not. It's kind of bad when I can just read this in Laura's voice and you can just hear her noble, holier than thou, but I am humble swordsman type voice. We get 800 for you too? Yep, I guess we got 800 for everybody. Nice. Okay, well, that's all our bonding points. And that is everything that we can do, so let's head to the airport. Let's board the Courageous. Random family over there. This guy's saying that there's still more to see. I mean, that makes me kind of suspicious, man. Uh-oh, what happened? They didn't call me. Come on. Wow. Wow. You just came from the town and you're going to have me go back into town and grab everybody? That's messed up. That is some messed up stuff, man. You can't just call them on their orbital things. Arcus units? That's just what I was looking for.
Upper rank you go. Here's a bonus from the academy.
All right. 228 is
well
where
done.
we want to be at for 100%.
I'm so proud of you, Reen.
100% still on lock. All hands remain vigilant. That word is just never going to be fresh anymore. All right. Here we get a pretty big story. Story moment, I guess, for the game. For whatever reason, I just got reminded of Tales of Symphonia music for whatever reason. And it was great. I need to play that game again. Yep. So we see a tree in Crossbell. We're not sure what it is, or why it's important, or if it is important.
Now that's damned impressive. It must be over 2,000 arch tall.
Oh, never thought I'd come face to face with something that big in my lifetime.
Life's just full of surprises.
Oh, this is the very essence of beauty.
Blue Blanc's laugh is gonna get me every time.
So this is the fruit of the Azure Zero project, a testament to the power of human obsession.
Looks like everything did go according to plan. Not that any other outcome was ever a possibility with my illustrious lord lending a hand.
So that showed up as a result of that phantasmal blaze plan of yours? And you're planning on spawning something like that over here, too?
That we are. What you see before you is a miracle born of human hands, made manifest by the Zero Child. The end of the second movement is finally nigh. Let the preparations begin. This story's finale is bound to be one to remember.
I'm guessing the Zero Child and all that other stuff is information that comes from the Crossbell games. I don't know what any of that is.
Guess it's almost time to wrap things up. Wonder if it'll go how she and Campanella wanted to, though.
We are coming up to the end of the game, though. We got this last chapter right here, part 4, where we finish out the rest of the shrines, get the weapons, yada yada, and then we move into the final chapter. There's chapters after the final chapter, but you know, stuff goes down in the final chapter, of course. Uh-oh, these two are back. Doesn't mean that means that things didn't go too well in the East. For us. For them, it probably went great. Or I guess they were on the West. Heimdallr. Come on, man, you don't question magic. Just say it's magic and then leave it alone. Oh, Rufus playing some chess. Very well, we will follow your orders just this once. Same time under Valflame Palace. Oh wow, they're revealing this sooner than I thought. That's
I had no idea all this existed right under the palace.
The crown. Oh, well, I was gonna say that's the crown prince, but it already says that.
Duke Cayenne, can I ask exactly where we're going?
There is no need to look so concerned, Your Highness. The place we are traveling to is to the center of this city. No, this country. And a place that governs a great power. It is where everything both ends and begins.
I'm not sure I understand what you mean.
Please, be careful of your footing. If you were to fall off the platform, you most assuredly would go splat and die.
I feel like that line, "go splat," is kind of out of character of Altina.
Now, it won't do to frighten him. And I must say, I don't recall doing so ever being part of your duties.
Pardon me. I believe we're almost there.
I don't think they show where they're going. Oh, they do show where they're going. Okay. I mean, I guess we're getting pretty close to the end, but I didn't think they would be showing this right now.
I've been waiting for you.
Vita Clotilde? The opera singer? What are you doing in a place like this?
Greetings, witch. I see that tree emerged successfully.
It certainly did. All that remains now is to continue the preparations here. However, let me remind you that under no circumstance...
If you would, spare me.
You've made yourself perfectly clear on occasions past. And I am hardly enough of a fool to attempt to defy commands from a witch.
What are the two of you talking about? And why did you bring me here?
Patience, Your Highness. All will be clear in due time. Oh my. Could this be it?
And there it is.
What is that thing? What's this feeling?
Marvelous! Marvelous! This is the legendary demon said to wield 1,000 weapons. The Crimson Calamity, which was sealed away by Saint Sandlot and Drycles 250 years ago, and a fragment of the great power. The Vermilion Testarossa!
Can't believe they revealed that right now. But yeah, that's a divine knight underneath the Vermilion capital. And yeah, as you might expect, Duke Cayenne is planning something with the Testarossa. What is he doing? I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, I'm guessing the stuff with the tree has to do with the Crossbell games, seeing as it's in Crossbell. Probably doesn't have much to do with the Trails in the Sky games. But if anybody knows any differently, let me know. Although it's kind of crazy that Ouroboros is working on so many fronts simultaneously. Yep, still got 3 more spirit shrines. It's still kind of crazy that Sarah was a Jaeger. She's been holding out on us with that information for a long time. First she held out on us that she was a Bracer, but then her real deep dark secret is that she was a Jaeger in the Northern Alliance or whatever it's called. But I believe that is the last of Sarah's mysterious past that we'll have to worry about. It would be Oliver that would give us a task that's named Canyon or Canton. This guy. choose our party members. And you. Sure, that'll be fine. Alright. And this is actually where we're going to end it for right now. We're going to return a little bit later on today, 5:30 PST. We'll continue with part 4 of Act 2. And we're going to kick some booty, I guess. Find out what's going on and get down to business with this whole Tessarossa Divine Knight, the wielder of 1,000 blades. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. See you a little bit later today in a few hours. Peace.